Hey guys, so I want to tell a quick story about an appointment that I just had with a client that I did an annual review on. This was a client that I had written a mortgage protection with living benefits life insurance policy with about 2 years ago. And I met with him and his wife, and at the time, the rule is and always will be that you always cover the breadwinner first. So that's what we did. So I took care of him, did a policy. And now, a year and a half to 2 years later, came back, spoke to him on the phone, let him know I did some research and was able to get him twice the amount of coverage for about $2 more. And it was kind of a no-brainer for him. He said, yeah, let's go ahead, let's move forward with it. We went ahead, we did the application over the telephone. It got approved. They mailed the policy to me. And then I just went ahead and delivered the policy. Now, when I went ahead to deliver the policy, I also brought with me a $500 a month IUL illustration. And went to his house. It was he and his wife again. And here's what happened. And I want to first of all say thank you to Joe Germano for kind of leading the charge and leading the way in all this and teaching us and showing us how to do these annual reviews and then how to bring these IUL illustrations along with us. Because here's what happened. It was very interesting. Not only was the trust factor so high, but they were just so glad, number one, to see me again. Number two, they were happy that they just got twice the amount of insurance coverage for $2 more. So that was really exciting. Now, throughout the conversation, I had asked a couple questions. He's a UPS truck driver. And so right now he's working 14-hour days. He's working 6 days a week. It's the holiday season. And, he was a little bit tired, said he got home at 4 o'clock in the morning, woke up a little bit earlier this morning to have the appointment with me. And we went through some of the questions. Hold on, let me do this real quick. All right, back on. And so we did some Q&A, and together, by doing the Q&A, here's what we found. We found that this gentleman working for UPS, they do not match his 401k. So he's taking 5% out of his income going towards his retirement, and they're not matching. That's number one. Number two, he didn't start working for UPS till he was 41. He's 48 years old right now. And he believes that he's going to be working there till age 65. I asked him, how much are you deferring in taxes every single year towards your retirement? He wasn't sure. What he did know was this. He knew that right now the markets are down, and they've been down for several weeks and several months. He also knew that the employer probably should be matching, but look, it's UPS's rule. They don't match in their 401k retirement plan for their employees. And he also understood the fact that he's going to be working there until he's about 65 years old so that he could capitalize on the pension that they give. And so after asking a couple questions, I already had the IUL illustration printed out. Now I printed out the first 4 pages, and then I printed out pages 21 to 23. Depends on the IUL illustration that you run, but that typically gives the rundown from age that your client is at to age 120. And what I did was I took a yellow highlighter and I showed him how much cash value he would have in this retirement plan at age 65 if he paid into it. And it was a nice size number. It was somewhere with a $500 a month premium. It was somewhere around 133,000. And he said to me, before I had a chance to even say to him, we can either, put more into this plan or we can lower this plan. He said, based on this conversation, it just doesn't make any sense for me to continue to contribute my 5% towards this 401k. He goes, to be quite frank, who knows what's even left in it over the last couple of weeks? And he said, am I able to roll over? I said, nope, you can't roll over. But what we could do is we can have you take that 5% that's not being matched, and we can put that towards the IUL. So again, he didn't blink at the $500 a month. He was more interested in finding out, how do I do $1,000 a month? Can I do more than that? Now, the rule is that if the company is matching you, you leave that be where it is. If they're contributing anything over and above what the company's matching, then you take that amount of money that they're spending and redirect that into the IUL. So these were just a little tidbits of a conversation that we had. Now, here's what's also interesting, is that as I'm sitting there talking to his wife, Karen, she had explained to me that she was diabetic. She's had a couple things going on with some pain and some medications that she's been taking here over the years. I asked her to grab the list of the medications, and I said, here's what I'd like to do for you today. I said, I can't make any guarantees, but while we're sitting here together, why don't we call the insurance carrier together and let's find out whether or not you'd be eligible. So I called Phoenix. We did a risk assessment on the Phoenix Express product. The underwriter, the gentleman at the call center then got the underwriter on the line, spoke to the underwriter, and they said it would be okay. So we wound up putting together a $100,000 policy for her, which was about $1,700 a year in premium. So we were able to do an application for the wife. And then I'm going back after Christmas and I'm going to be doing either somewhere between $500 to over $1,000 plus in an IUL. He also gave me both his son and his daughter as the ERS, Emergency Response System. So here's the last thing I'd like to leave you with, and I'll share this with you. If you've been in the insurance industry, if you've been in the health insurance industry, if you've been in property and casualty industry, and you have clients on the books for over a year, and you're working with Freedom Financial Solutions, you can go back, you can have these conversations, you can do these annual reviews, especially on the life insurance stuff. On the health insurance and property and casualty insurance clients, you can go back to policy reviews and then bring in an IUL with you when you go for the health insurance and the property and casualty insurance. On the life insurance clients, do exactly as we're teaching. Do your research first. Find out from the client if nothing's changed in their motor vehicle report, if nothing's changed in their health, in their medical history, as long as nothing's changed, and then see if you can put them in a better position that's not going to cost them more money. Go out and personally see the client again, deliver the policy, and then bring an IUL illustration with you. You'd be amazed at what happens. So again, I want to say thank you to Joe Germano for kind of leading the charge, and Mike Schless for putting everything in place. And this was just the first one, because we've gone 10 for 10 on annual reviews so far, and we're just getting started between the hundreds of clients that we took care of over 2016 and 2017. So very excited about that, and we'll be teaching this at our next boot camp training. You guys have a great week. Oh, by the way, it's the week before Christmas. This is the week to go out and make it happen, right? So excuses or reasons, they're one and the same. Just go out there and do it. People are open. I just scheduled an appointment for the day before Christmas Eve. People are open. I'm doing a policy delivery that butts up right up against Christmas Eve, which is different than the appointment that I just scheduled. So I'll tell you right now, people will be open. They'll be out of pocket on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then Wednesday of next week is go time. So take advantage of your opportunities and take advantage of the week. Take care.